Hi guys, Stay-Patient here, back with another Exo Zombies video. Now, many of you will know that I'm not that familiar with the zombie modes in general when it comes to Call of Duty. Games such as Black Ops and World at War, I didn't really spend much time on the zombies mode, so I'm pretty much a noob when it comes to the gameplay in these modes. So that's why on the first Advanced Warfare DLC I put together a video showing you guys a glitch that I use to make the trophies a lot easier. But I've been looking for a similar glitch on the infected map, but there doesn't seem to be anything that's as useful. There's one glitch that's semi-useful for some of the rounds, but I don't really use it because it's not very reliable. So I've put together basically a strategy that isn't anything special. You know, those of you who are used to playing zombies will probably be playing like this anyway. But just basically a strategy of how to make things a bit easier, and I was actually able to reach wave 29 without going down at all on my second attempt solo using this method, and I kept going a bit, but I kind of got bored at wave 32, so I quit out. But if a noob like me can do that, then so can you. It's very, very easy. Now this map is much easier in my opinion than the first DLC. And basically you're going to be heading for Burger Town and pretty much spending the entire game there. Now the normal waves are so super easy, and I'm going to start playing now. I'm at wave I think 13, and I'm going to just show you why this area, this Burger Town area, is so useful. So I've got a few zombies have started spawning already, and basically what you can do is just run around the outside of the building, trailing the zombies behind you. Now we're quite early on in this wave, they're starting to spawn. Obviously when you're early on you want to keep one eye ahead of you, but because this route is all outside, there's no sort of necessity to cut through a building. That means that you've always got a nice lot of room above you, no ceiling or anything, so that you can easily jump over the zombies that do spawn in front of you. But obviously you want to keep looking around, you want to keep sprinting, turning back, shooting the zombies, and keep going like that. Now this makes the normal waves super easy, and there's a few other points that you can make use of while doing this. Now the best thing is the fact that this area has the weapon upgrade station in, and to be able to get to it you do not have to break your clockwise route around this building. Now I'm going to go around one more time, and then I'm going to show you how to get to the weapon upgrade station without changing your route. Now it's in there, it's in that room there, but you don't want to be you don't want to have to sort of go back on yourself, because that gives the zombies chance to corner you and catch up to you and just mess you up. Now I do actually have the power off at the moment because I missed a survivor. Obviously when you're doing this you don't want to have to be bothered going for survivors, but what you're going to want to do is cut in through this window, and I'll show you again on, because I'll turn this power on and then I'll go back around and grab the upgrade. You don't want to be stopped for too long. You do not want to upgrade two weapons at the same time, because it would just take too long and you get overwhelmed and cornered. But as you can see I'm running low on ammo, so on my next time round I'm going to be running along the back wall, and behind the windows, behind this Jeep or buggy that's kind of Hummer, whatever it is, that's smashed into the building. Then you can cut round to the left, grab your upgrade, keep running, and the zombies don't catch you at all. That's what makes this so great. And what I'll do is, obviously because these easy waves where there's nothing special going on are super easy, you can just literally lead them around the outside of the building for as long as you wish. I'm going to explain how to go about doing some of the more tricky waves. So what I'm going to do is show you this window again, because this is a sort of semi-glitch. It's not an outright glitch, it's not a perfect safe spot, but if you sit here on this window right in the middle, you will be fairly safe, you won't get hit. Now I use this, I'm just going to pause it and explain. I use this window only on the infected rounds. So what I recommend you do is play the game a couple of times and just write down on a piece of paper when you get the particular round, such as the infected or the toxic zones. Write down when they occur so that you can be prepared, and you can know that they're not exactly the same each game, but they are roughly around the same time. So if you know there's a infected round coming up, you can come to this window, and what happens is, as long as you're in the middle of this window ledge, you don't get hit, but the enemies can knock you off the center. And if an enemy on one side if the enemy on one side of the window knocks you towards the other side, then the zombies on that other side can then reach you for a split second if you don't adjust yourself quick enough, and eventually you will get infected. But the great thing about this is, because on the infected rounds you don't get nearly as many enemies, you can sit here and you don't ever get overwhelmed. You can quickly take out as many of the infected enemies as you can before you get infected yourself, and then when you do get infected, you can hop off this window and run around to this side of the building and just simply jump into that trash chute. Now, this trash chute takes you down to the sewers, and it literally lands you within meters of the decontamination room. So obviously, if you go straight down into the decontamination room at the start of the infected round, then you can get overwhelmed. But if you go into that window and kill as many enemies as you can before you get infected, then it just thins out the crowd a bit, and it means that when you go down into the sewers, you don't have so many enemies coming at you, and it's a lot more manageable. So that's how to go about doing the infected rounds. And that's another reason why Burger Town's perfect, simply because of this trash chute. The rounds that contaminate one of the zones, or two of the zones if you're in round 20 plus, to be able to manage them, basically what you want to do is you want to be in the zone that you don't mind being contaminated at the start of the round. Now that zone should always be Atlas Command, because there's no upgrade station there. So if you get in the habit of predicting when there's going to be a toxic zone round, go straight for Atlas Command before the round starts. You know, you want to be there at the end of the round before. So say for instance round 11 is a toxic zone round. At the end of round 10, you want to go straight to Atlas Command, finish off the last enemies once you're there, and then when it tells you that Atlas Command is becoming contaminated, then you can just run back to Burger Town, and Burger Town will be safe, and you can just stay there, because it always turns the area that you are currently in toxic, except for if you are in the sewers. Now if you're in the sewers, it will choose a random area, so you don't want to be in the sewers because it might choose Burger Town or whatever. But it doesn't matter too much in the early rounds when you get a toxic zone wave. As long as you've got either Burger Town or Value Voltage safe, then it's fine. But ideally, you do want to keep Burger Town clean, simply for the fact that it's so easy to train the zombies around behind you. There is a circular route you can do at Value Voltage, but it does involve going inside the building every time you go around the circle. You do have to go through the building, so if you get cornered in there, it can become tricky. But obviously, when you get to wave 20 and higher, the toxic zone waves actually turn 2 of the zones contaminated. You know, they contaminate 2 of the zones, so you definitely want to be at Atlas Command for the start of them, because if you are in Burger Town or Value Voltage, then it will turn that zone contaminated, and then it could pick the other one of the 2 as the second zone. So in other words, if you've got Value Voltage and Burger Town both contaminated, then you've got no upgrade station that's accessible, so you can't refill your ammo. You're going to have to go to Atlas Command, and you can train the zombies around in a circle there. It's quite a good place to defend, but it's nowhere near as good as Burger Town. And also, because there's no upgrade station, you're not going to be able to refill your ammo until you get an ammo drop, and you're going to need to risk going into Value Voltage to upgrade your weapon, which is very difficult, and then you're going to need to be able to make your way back out and then get to the decontamination zone, and it's just a massive headache. So that's my tip for the toxic zone rounds. Go to Atlas Command for the start of the round to make sure that is one of the zones that's turned toxic, so that you always have the upgrade station, either the one in Burger Town or the one at Value Voltage, available to use and fill your ammo back up. But that's the basic technique, guys. Obviously early on in the game you're going to want to make a nice lot of money in the first few rounds. Don't buy a weapon until you've got your suit. So get enough to go down to the sewer, grab your suit, and then you can melee the enemies in wave 3 and 4. and then you can go back to the 3D printer, grab a weapon, and then between rounds, obviously you want to keep 1 or 2 zombies alive for as long as possible so that you can go and spend your money on the upgrades, especially the medic upgrade, the health upgrade, the reload, and the soldier upgrade. They are all very useful. Once you've got all 4 of those, as long as you stay alive, you won't need to buy any of them again. If you do die, then obviously you'll lose the medic upgrade and you'll have to buy that again, which just involves going back to the horde mode area, which is right at the beginning. But that's really it, guys. I actually, I use this to get to a relatively high wave for me. I know it's not that high, but considering it was one of my first proper games on a zombie mode, I was quite happy with that, and it got me the trophies, so that was all good. And of course, some people are worried about trying to find glitches to make it easier, but you do need to be able to move around because of the toxic zone waves. You need to be able to get to other areas. So having a glitch where you just sit there isn't really going to be beneficial on this particular map. But there you have it, guys. Literally, you're just going to be using Burger Town. You're going to be doing what I was doing earlier, running round and round in a circle. I do apologise if the picture's a bit funny. I think I changed the brightness while we were doing the Easter egg, so I could see some of the searchable items a bit easier. But there you go. It's literally a case of circling this area. Now, just one other thing quickly before I sign off. As you're going around the front of the building, what you can do is if you want to work towards the trap trophy as well, you can double jump up onto here. The reason I say just double jump up there is because it means that you're not breaking your route again. You'd never want to break the direction you're running in and go back on yourself, because that just gets you cornered. But you can just run past, turn on the orbital strike, and then hop down and keep running around the building, and that will do a load of orbital strikes all the way around. Now, we do actually have a infected round, so I'm going to show you this glitch quickly. Here we go. Standing on here allows you to not get hit for a while. Eventually you probably will do, and when I do, I'm going to jump down and I'm going to go into the trash chute. But you constantly have to be nudging your left stick to keep yourself in position, because they will knock you out of position. So you want to be aware of where you are. If you feel yourself moving forward or backwards, you want to just move yourself in the other direction slightly, just to keep yourself in position. And as you can see, you can take down a ton of these because they've got low health. The reason, there's less of them and they've got low health is, of course, because they've got the added danger of being able to contaminate you or infect you. There we go. So we finally get infected, and then we can simply run around to the side, jump into the trash chute, and we come out here, and we're going to hop down into the decontamination chamber. Decontaminate ourselves, and then just stay here and defend this area. So there you have it, guys. I'm going to sign off. I've been Stay-Patient. I hope you found the video useful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you all soon. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye for now.